So discovery is a process that's utilized in the state of Tennessee, and that's a way for you and your attorney to discover information that the other side may have and want to present at trial. The most common forms of discovery are either written questions that have to be answered in writing under oath, and those are called interrogatories and requests for production of documents. So, for example, your attorney may say to the other side, tell me how many bank accounts you are, and please provide me your statements for the past 5 years. And so your spouse will say, I have a bank account at XYZ Bank, and here's my statements for the past 5 years. They'll sign an oath and saying that that's true to the best of their information and belief. And then they'll send those documents and those answers to you and your attorney. So that's one phase of it. Another phase that's very common is what's called depositions. And that's a process where your attorney would be asking your soon-to-be former spouse questions in front of a court reporter that are to be answered truthfully. And it can be a wide variety of questions, but the goal of those questions is to help your attorney know when your spouse is asked a certain question at trial, the answer they can expect to receive. So a lot of times in a divorce, there's different information that's collected, but some of the most common information that's collected would be financial information from the other spouse. That can be things such as bank records, copies of retirement account statements, money market accounts, ask for those types of statements, tax returns, also asking for 401ks, W-2s, things like that. And then also if there's children involved, you're going to be looking at children's school records, children's medical records. You may be looking to see what kind of activities they're involved in, and if there's any records concerning that. As far as alimony goes, you're going to be looking at what records can you get from the other spouse that shows their monthly income and their monthly expenses. And a lot of times that's in the form of credit card statements or debit card statements or bank account information. So there's certain ways that you can deny some discovery requests. People can't ask for confidential information between you and your attorney. They can't ask you to draw conclusions you're not able to draw. Like, for example, if you're not a lawyer, they can't ask you to draw a legal conclusion. But otherwise, most discovery does have to be answered. So discovery is not always needed in every case. Sometimes both parties have a good, solid foundation as to their assets and their debts. When they initially come in, they may have even agreed upon everything as how to divide it. But if not, especially if you have a spouse who is not knowledgeable about the finances, then you definitely need to conduct discovery because you should be doing that to make sure that you're aware as the attorney of what assets and debts exist and what information's out there to better advise your client. So the discovery process, it can be tedious in the state of Tennessee. It can be confusing if it's something that you've never done. If you're facing the discovery process and you need an attorney, or if you think you're going to go through a divorce and you've heard a little bit about the discovery process and you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us at Mandy Hancock Law, and we will be glad to schedule a consultation and review your options.